State MIS, U-DISE coordinator, planning coordinator, all the CEOs from all the 22 districts of Jammu and Kashmir, all my MIS coordinators of both SSA and RMSA. At the outset, I take this opportunity and thank State Project Director for giving NUPA this opportunity to share our experience with you all, with prime objective to further improve the quality of U-DISE data in terms of its coverage, quality, consistency, sharing, utilization, and dissemination. At the outset, we would like to say that so far as Unified District Information System for Education is concerned, in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, practically we do not face any problem. It is going on very smooth. But definitely, like in other states, in Jammu and Kashmir also, there is good scope of further improving the quality and coverage of Unified DISE data. This year, 2015-16, we are going to collect data as on 30th September 2015. Well, friends, we started District Information System for Education in the year 94-95 when the country launched District Primary Education Program. Initially, it was launched only in the DPEP Phase 1, 7 states in about 42 districts. In its very first year, we could able to reach none less than 65,000 schools. By the end of the DPEP, in the year 2000-2001, we could able to reach 18 states in about 272 districts. In view of the importance of the timely availability of the statistics on all the parameters at all the disaggregated levels from school to cluster, block, district, state, and also at the national level, the Government of India, at the time of launching Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan program or elementary education for all in the year 2001, they decided to upscale DISE from primary to upper primary level of education, which means that the entire elementary level of education was supposed to be covered since 2001. It was also decided at the time of launching SSA that henceforth all the 35 states and union territories of our country is to be covered under District Information System for Education. That was in the year 2001. But friends, it was the year 2005-06 when the entire country got covered under the DISE for the first time, and we could able to reach 604 districts. Again, in view of the importance of timely availability of the statistics, in the year 2007-08, Government of India, Ministry of Human Resource Development, decided to further upscale DISE from the elementary level of education to the secondary and higher secondary level of education. That responsibility was also assigned to NUPA, and NUPA developed online software which was popularly known as SEMIS or Secondary Education Management Information System, which continued up to the year 2010-11. In between, we have designed and developed a unified data capture format for both secondary and higher secondary, meaning one data capture format for the entire school level of education and tried out in the year 2010-11 in the state of West Bengal, and subsequently in the year 2011-12 we tried out in the states of Pondicherry and West Bengal. In between, the right to education was also launched in the year 2009. We also modified thoroughly the data capture format and added all the variables which are required for efficient monitoring of Right to Education Act. Friends, in between, a committee was set up by the Ministry of Human Resource Development to suggest modalities as how to develop a unified school education statistic system in our country. What happened in our activities that a school which was having grades 1 to 12, for 1 to 8 classes we have a separate data capture format. For another 9, 10 and 11 we have a separate data capture format. For elementary we have separate software. For secondary and higher secondary we had a separate software. One school was there, but we had two unique identification code, one for the elementary, another for the secondary and higher secondary level of education. Two nodal officers were there, one for the elementary and another for the secondary and higher secondary level of education, which means that there was lot of duplicity of the efforts which we were making towards strengthening of educational management information system in our country. So this particular committee, which was set up by the MHRD, also recommended unification of SEMIS with the DISE, and it was for the first year in the year 2012-13 that one data capture format was used across the country in all the 35 states of our country. That was the first year. Detailed guidelines were issued by the MHRD before launching 2012-13 Unified DISE. Some of these important guidelines were, number one, the data capture format would be printed from the software, DISE software. When we print the data capture format from the software, all the constant variables also got printed, like school name, school ID, category of a school, management of a school, and such other related information are supposed to be printed when we print the data capture format from the software. Another important decision which was taken by the MHRD in the year 2012-13 was that data entry would take place in the office of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan because they have got rich experience of handling DISE. So it was decided that it would be handled by them. Unfortunately, a message was conveyed across the country amongst our RMSA friends were that it is the baby of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan program. They thought that data capture format is being printed in the office of SSA. Data entry is also handling by the SSA officials. So it is the task which is to be assigned and completed by the officers, those who are involved in Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan program. Some coordination problems were mentioned in some states, but it was a very smooth sailing in the states where both SSA and RMSA officers were the same. SSA and RMSA state project directors were same. But during the year 2013-14 and 2014-15, we could not face much problems, no limitations, and we could able to complete the entire process of unified DISE 2013-14 and 14-15 smoothly. Absolutely, we did not face any problem. Through your efforts, friends, we could able to establish management information system units across the country. We now have covered 680 districts all the 36 states and union territories, including bifurcated Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. We now have covered about 15,16,892 schools imparting school education in our country, including about 29,000 schools imparting school education in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. We could cover about 7,400 blocks or zones. We received data none less than 84,000 clusters, and about 539 villages have also been covered where the schooling facilities are available and covered under the unified DISE. Which, friends, because of your active participation, your very hard work, DISE has reached to this stage today. Because of your active hard work, the time lag in data collection and data dissemination has come down only to the 1 year at the national level and only a few months at the state and the district levels, which used to be about 7 to 8 years before we launched DISE. This is not a mean achievement. Because of your hard work, we now have MIS unit in all the 680 districts of our country, but in more than 5,000 blocks, we also have MIS units with computer programmers and data entry operators, and the software which is designed and developed by NUPA is now a user-friendly, well-tested, error-free, with limited scope for manipulation, is being used in about 5,000 blocks of our country. Well, friends, because of these achievements, the Government of India has taken two very important decisions recently, which has got serious implications for the work in which we all are involved in. The Government of India, Ministry of Human Resource Development, has decided that unified DISE data would be used in all the publications of MHRD so far as the school education is concerned, which means that our data, unified DISE data, has acquired the status of official statistics, which is not a mean achievement. The second important decision which the Government of India has taken is that henceforth, if the All India Education Surveys being conducted over a period of time by the NCERT, if it is conducted in the future, they will confine only to those variables which are not available under DISE, which means that all the school-based variables which are available in the DISE will not be covered, or information will not be covered under the 9th All India School Education Survey if it is conducted in the future. 8th All India School Education Survey was conducted with 30th September 2009, which means that the year 2009-10 is the full information is yet to be made available, but DISE has already reached to the year 2015-16. These are very important decisions which has very serious implications for everyone, those who are involved in management and organization of district information system for education. Before 2012-13, DISE was known as District Information System for Education. Since both DISE and SEMIS is merged, so from the year 2012-13, it is now popularly known across the country as Unified DISE or U-DISE or Unified District Information System for Education. Now, friends, we have achieved a lot because of your hard work. we could able to achieve a number of things which has definitely strengthened educational management information system in our country. But despite all our achievements, there are still quite a few areas of concern which need immediate attention of all those who are involved in the strengthening of EMIS in our country in general and in the state of Jammu and Kashmir in particular. Number of issues are there with particular reference to the quality, coverage, consistency, sharing, utilization and dissemination of our data is concerned. Even though in all these areas there are significant improvements, but still there are some gray areas are there. So this is why this particular workshop will also help us in further improving the quality and coverage of our data in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Let us discuss some of these issues. Friends, as we all know, our data capture format is already printed from the software. जैसे आपको पता है, the format is already printed. 99% of the format is printed, and only enrollment by category, by medium of instruction, and by age and grade is to be inserted by the school headmasters or principals or head teachers, which are our respondents. Everything is printed. Plus, we also have to check the details of teachers, which in a few schools, large in the number. Well, friends, many CEOs are sitting here. Headmasters are in the big schools, or the principals in very big schools having enrollment, having 5,000 enrollment, 4,000 enrollment, having teachers more than 200, 300. They do not have time themselves to fill up the information, and the responsibility is generally assigned to the head teacher or the person who is looking after midday meal, distribution of textbook or incentives or like that one. So the responsibility is shared by not only the headmaster and the principal, but by the other school teachers also. And when they fill up the form and submit it for the consideration of the school principal or headmaster, generally the school headmaster or principal do not turn the pages of the data capture format and just seal it and sign it. That's over. And they think that their work is over. But the situation is not like that. The headmaster and the principal must go through the information which is supplied by the the head teacher or the other teachers to whom the responsibility is assigned. During our training this year, we must also inform all our headmasters, principals and respondents to kindly check the filled-in form. It is our moral duty to go through the filled-in form, because there are many still maybe corrections are required. The name of the school is also reported many times not correct. The management is also not correct many times. Other information may not also be correct in a few schools. So the message we must take to schools and the respondents is that kindly check thoroughly the filled-in format. That is very important. Second important thing is that I believe that this has already been done in the state of Jammu and Kashmir before generating 2014-15 data into 2015-16 data, and before printing the data capture format from the software. You might have already updated your school directory in terms of the schools which were not covered during the year 2014-15, listing of the schools, uncovered schools. Because of the one or the other regions, we could not able to reach them and cover under the Unified DISE 2014-15. First important thing is that we should have the complete list of all the schools which are yet to be covered under the unified DISE. Number one. Number two, you might have updated your database about the new schools which have been opened during the year 2014-15 and 2015-16. You might also have updated your database with particular regard to the schools which have closed down, the schools which have been merged. We are told that about 1,000 schools are merged in the state of Jammu and Kashmir this year. But still, many of these schools are functioning independently. This is the information which we have got from your state level officers. A good number of schools might now be not functional or closed down. We now have to make an updated list of schools, or the listing of the schools which is popularly known as school directory. So all such schools which were not covered under DISE, all such schools which are merged, all such schools which are not functional or closed down might have already updated in our database before printing the data capture format. Even if some schools are left, our CRC and BRC coordinators should keep always blank U-DISE 15-16 format with them so as to give them a blank data capture format as and when we come across such type of schools while we are in the field. The point we are making here is that let us ensure that unified 2015-16 data in the office in the state of Jammu and Kashmir is complete from all the sources. So that was the second point. Well, friends, the efforts which you have been doing for the last so many years now resulted into improvement in the quality of U-DISE data. Our statistics with regard to enrollment, infrastructure, teachers has improved significantly, and the credit goes to none other than you. You have worked very hard in the past, and we believe that you would continue to contribute significantly so far as further improving the quality of Unified District Information System 2015-16 data is concerned. Well, friends, I have some points for your consideration, and if we focus on these points during the year 2015-16, definitely we can further improve the quality of our data. The first important thing is that we have enrollment. We have three types of enrollment: enrollment by category, enrollment by medium of instruction, and enrollment by age and grade. We should take this point to the school headmasters, principals, and respondents that let the three types of enrollment be same. It should not happen that total enrollment in a school is 400, enrollment by medium of instruction is 380, and enrollment by age and grade is 350. Let us give focus on enrollment by three types to ensure that they all are consistent and there is no difference between the three types of enrollment. If there is difference between three types of enrollment because of this one region, a small region, big questions are raised about the quality and coverage of DISE data. So this is very important to us. The second important thing is that internal consistency of the data, internal consistency of the enrollment data. You see, in many schools, you would see enrollment in grade 3 this year. Let us suppose it is 80, but enrollment in grade 2 in the previous year is only 65. You please check from 65 to 80 enrollment. the additional enrollment from where this particular school has received additional children in grade 3 comparison to enrollment in the grade 2 in the previous year. If the enrollment is not consistent in a particular grade this year in relation to the enrollment in the previous year in the previous grade, it has got serious implications for a good number of indicators like dropout rate, promotion rate, repetition rate, transition rate, retention rate, and a few other indicators. It has got very serious implications for all of us and gives a very bad name for the quality of district information system for education. There are many other issues. If you see the teachers' data, you will see that in a few schools, not everywhere, in a few schools, there are number of teachers which are below 18 years. In a few other schools, you will see teachers' date of birth, 100 years old teachers, 95 years old teacher. If it is correct, let it be there. We are not asking you, requesting you to alter the data at your end. You are not supposed to alter the data. You are not supposed to modify the data. You are not supposed to edit the data. Data is to be modified, altered only by the person who has submitted the data, who has filled in the data. It would be our respondents only. But at your end, at the cluster level, at the zonal level, at the district level, it is our responsibility to check thoroughly the data capture format. The CRP, the Cluster Resource Center coordinators, are supposed to check 100% basis all the forms and also to ensure that the forms reach to all the schools falling under his or her jurisdiction. At the zonal level, 20% forms are to be checked on 100% basis. And at the district level also, 10% forms are to be checked thoroughly. That will also help us in further improving the quality of our data. There are many other issues, friends. One important issue I would like to highlight is that recently our data is now being utilized by a number of agencies, not only in the education sector, but in the other sectors also. One of the important portals which have been launched by Government of India recently is the National Scholarship Portal, which is meant for secondary and higher secondary schools and the children in these schools. Any school or child, whosoever want to apply for the scholarship is required to enroll, register on the National Scholarship Portal. Recently at NUPA, we have acquired a toll-free number 1800-116200. We have received a large number of complaints from the users from across the country that our school Unified DICE code is not there. In the National Scholarship Portal, it is made mandatory for all the schools to have 11-digit Unified DICE code. Many schools approached us that our school code is not found there. What we should do? Where should we go? How we should acquire 11-digit U-DICE code, which gives us a clear message that a good number of schools in general and secondary and higher secondary schools in particular are yet to be joined, covered under the Unified DICE. Good number of schools are yet to be covered. That is one type of user feedback we have received through our toll-free number. So, during the year 2015-16, In the state of Jammu and Kashmir, we should also make an effort to reach all uncovered schools so as to ensure that all the schools, irrespective of the category, irrespective of the management, imparting school education from grade 1 to 12 are covered under Unified DISE 2015-16. That was first type of the feedback which we have received. Another type of feedback which we have received is very serious and which has also got implications for the work which we are doing, especially those who are involved in the process of Unified DISE. Many users, they have complained that their school name is wrong. Their school category is displaying wrong. Type of a school displayed is wrong. This information or that information which is available under Unified DISE is not correct. On the one hand, we have been advocating our respondents, school headmasters and principals that kindly encircle with the red ink wherever there is error in the printed data capture format, encircle it with the red ink. They are doing it very honestly. But as it seems that many a times corrections are not being carried out by the data entry operators, they just fill in the enrollment and that is over. The feedback which we have received from the school, head teacher, headmasters, they suggested that we have already made the corrections 3 years back, 4 years back, but the same data capture format with the same errors is supplied back to us, which clearly means that the data entry operator, all the corrections are not carried out, which is very serious implication for everyone, those who are involved in Unified DISE. So this year, we should make an effort to ensure that the data entry operator makes all the corrections which are encircled with the red ink in the data capture format. This is very serious because you are doing your level best. You have ensured that your message reaches to school. Respondents are also making the corrections, but unfortunately because of the one or the other reasons, the message has the data entry operator has not made the corrections, which is very serious issue. For your kind information, maybe also like in the Jammu and Kashmir, a good number of states, they have made 11-digit school identification code compulsory for all the schools imparting 1 to 12 schools, 1 to 12 education. In many states, when the certificate is printed from the software, the school name is also printed along with the 11-digit school identification code. Many a times, if the school name on the certificate is not correct, you can understand the importance of and the problems which the student might be facing. So kindly ensure that this year we should also make an effort to ensure that the correct school name is also displayed in our data capture format. This is very important issue. Well, friends, there are few variables which need your attention also. In many schools, specifically in the secondary or higher secondary schools, the schools having streams is not correctly and completely provided. Whether the school is having arts, science, commerce, or vocational streams it is having, the information is not provided. And so as the enrollment in secondary and higher secondary schools by the streams is also not complete. Many times the teacher's information is not complete. We have also come to know that in few private unaided schools having large number of teachers, the complete information of teachers is not being supplied. 50 टीचर है तो केवल 10 टीचर का दे दिया, बाकी सब छोड़ दिया. So we can also take this issue to the private schools this year to ensure that the data capture format, all the information of all the teachers is provided. Similarly, we have also come to know in a few places these private schools do not provide information about the scheduled caste children, those who are in their school. In one small state, we could identify 40,000 children in private schools. Those were scheduled caste, but unfortunately they were shown as a general category students. So this is an opportunity. 2015-16 is an opportunity to ensure that all the necessary corrections are done and the data entry operator make all the corrections to ensure that the information is correct to the extent possible. Well, friends, in our database, if we analyze, you will come to know that we have reported enrollment in elementary grades in few schools, in few secondary and higher secondary schools. Exclusively, if a school is having 9, 10, 11 and 12, in Jammu and Kashmir, about 500 such schools are there. In such schools, enrollment in elementary is also reported. We do not know how it is possible. The school is having only 9, 10 and 11, 12, but a few schools, they have also reported enrollment in elementary. Few other schools having lowest enrollment grade is 1, but in about 9,000 schools, no enrollment is reported in grade 1. But enrollment in grade 2, 3, 4, 5 is reported. If it is possible, let it be like that. But you should please get it checked by the CRC and BRC and the school headmasters how it could possible. This is a very serious issue. Many of our schools, over a period of time, they changed the school management. Government to private and private to government. You please get it checked this year. A good number of schools, if we analyze the data, suggest that the location of a school is also changed. A few schools reported that in the previous year they were located in the urban area. This year they are located in the rural area. How it is possible, you know better than me. In the previous year they were located in the rural area. This year urban area, it is possible. But in the previous year they were located in the urban area and now they have become the rural area. Kindly get it checked. In general, we are not saying that only in the private school, but in a good number of government and aided schools also you will see this type of discrepancies or modifications in the data. This has got serious implications for the quality of our data. A good number of schools, in some places, in some districts, in some states, a number of guidelines have been issued. One guideline is that this year you need not to cover and reach and cover unrecognized schools. There is no such guidelines from the Ministry of Human Resource Development. There is no such guideline from the NUPA. We have to reach all the schools which are imparting education from grade 1 to 12, irrespective of the management, whether they are the government of India, central government assisted schools or state government governed school or private aided or unaided or local bodies, or they are madrasas recognized or unrecognized schools. We have to ensure and reach all the schools. There are no guidelines from us that you should not reach to unrecognized schools and unrecognized madrasa. No, sorry. We have to reach all the schools and madrasas providing education from grade 1 to 12. Some guidelines have also been issued by some officers that this year you need not to collect and report repeaters data. भैया बैठ जाओ यार. This year we need not to report repeaters data. Who are we to say that you do not, you report this or you do not report that one? Whatever the existing situation is there in the school, we have to present it. Many places it is also requested that this year you should not present that this school is not having this facility or that facility, this school is not having toilet or drinking water, or this school is not having functional or dysfunctional toilets or like that one. Well, friends, we are none to ask anyone or request anyone to report this or not to report this. We just want the true picture, the true information which must be reported by the school headmasters and the principals, which is very important to us. Well, friends, there are many other issues like mobile number. Recently, our data is provided to MyGov, with the contact numbers of all the teachers. Henceforth, you might receive some communication from the highest office in our country, and they are also using our database. But what we have found is that this is happy aspect that out of 8.5 million teachers, majority of teachers, we now have the contact numbers. But unfortunately, many of these contact numbers are only in 9 digits. Even the school landline number is 5 digits, 6 digits. Why don't we make an effort and ensure that all the contact numbers are provided correctly this year? There is no reason to believe that teachers themselves supply wrong information. Absolutely, there is no reason. And this information about the teacher is now made available in the public domain also. We are maintaining 3 websites. One is U-DISE.in, another one is schoolreportcards.in, and the third one is U-DISE.in. We have a separate channel for a school directory and a school teachers directory. We have covered, as I already said, 15,16,892 schools. Without any registration, without any restriction, you can visit our website and see school report cards of 1.5 million schools, which are now available for more than 10 years. You can see the descriptive report of 2 pages of individual school. You can see the district report cards, state report cards, flash statistics of elementary level as well as secondary level. You can also see elementary education in India over a period of 10 years from 2005-06 to 2014-15. Graphic presentation at the elementary level, secondary level, thematic presentation at the secondary level, and elementary level of education. Based on your 1 year's data, we used to bring out about 13 publications, and all these publications are available at DISE.in and schoolreportcards.in. You might be knowing that schoolreportcards.in is recipient of 4 national awards, and the real winner of all these 4 awards is none other than you. Because of your hard work, whatever you do at the grassroots levels, we used to present at the national level. And so the real winner of all these awards are my officers, those who are working at the cluster level, block level, district level, state level, and also at the national level. So in the teachers portal, now you can see the details of individual teachers, which is latest available in the public domain, is for the year 2014-15. You may like to visit all our websites. Other important variables is that in a few schools, they have reported that the qualification of teacher is higher secondary. It is mentioned. But the subjects which they have studied English or science is mentioned to be graduate or the undergraduate, postgraduate. The qualification is only higher secondary. It is mentioned. But the subject which they have studied themselves is mentioned to be the MA or BA or like that, and please get it checked. Similarly, distance from the nearest upper primary school from the primary school, distance from one school to another school is also not reported. Similarly, in our database, we have reported a good number of villages, but unfortunately in few of these villages there is no school located. This year we can update our database and ensure that the villages which are not without schools can also be deleted, or we can make the changes. In our database, one important variable is nature of disability. We have 10 types of nature of disability, but if you see the filled-in format, in some schools you will see the responses to be 11, 12, 13. We do not know from where we have 10, 11 and 12 are reported. Similarly, the details of school management committee and school development SDMCs and their bank details and all, they are generally not supplied by our schools. One important thing I would like to mention here is that board affiliation is very important. Hundreds of our schools, in general, secondary and higher secondary in particular, they have not mentioned the board to which a particular school is affiliated. Whether it is the Central Board of Secondary Education or State Board of Secondary Education or it is the International Board, they have not mentioned and just said that it is other managements. This is also very important. We are also trying our level best to ensure that all the schools provide their affiliation board, and we have written to the CBSE also to kindly ensure that all the schools affiliated to CBSE, they have a unified DISE code. This is also very important. Similarly, enrollment or lapse is also missing in many schools. One important variable is that enrollment in grade 11 and 12. I do not know exactly about Jammu and Kashmir, but in many states, higher secondary, the enrollment in grade 11 and 12 is part of college and higher education. It is out of the purview of the school education. So in states like Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, and a good number of other states, generally our officers could not reach to 11 and 12. In those states, the complete coverage is not ensured so far as the enrollment and the schools in secondary and higher secondary schools are there. These are some of the points I thought that I must share with you, and we are quite confident that during the year 2015-16, if we could able to highlight these points with our respondents, definitely we will further improve the quality, coverage, consistency, sharing, dissemination, and utilization of our data. Generally, friends, when we submit the data at the state level or state level submit the data to the national level, we think that our job is over. But no, our job just starts immediately after the submission of the data. That is why the utilization of the analysis of the data plays a very important role. And the time has come that we should thoroughly undertake the analysis of the data. And we should, while developing plan for the secondary or higher secondary level of education, maybe under the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan program, while analyzing the situation, we cannot afford not to analyze the situation at the elementary level of education. The secondary level of education cannot grow independently. It has to grow only with the elementary level of education, because the number of children, those who will be sending by the elementary level of education, successful completers of grade 8 only would be getting admission in grade 9. So unless until we improve the efficiency of the primary level of education or the elementary level of education, secondary education cannot grow independently. Wherever you get an opportunity, you please also analyze the entire school level of education so as to present the true picture of universalization at the state level or at the district level. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity, and we firmly believe that together only we can further improve the quality of unified 2015-16 data. We also believe that in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, there would be complete coordination between officers, those who are involved in SSA and RMSA, both at the state level and